and let us all do we can to build a better future. I'm sorry. If that triggers you, then you have to deal with it, because everybody has been saying this since the 2020 Democratic primary. They've been saying it since the general election and throughout his entire administration. Biden exhibits signs of mental decline. Now, you don't have to believe me, but when the whole media now starts talking about it and everybody sees it, well, then, of course, I'm going to comment on this, because Hardlands media has been attacked by people who said, how dare you insult Biden? Do you want Trump again? I don't care about the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, but what I do care about is having a competent leader leading us to shore. I care about how we are perceived. And I also care about the fact that many Americans are right now in abject poverty. We are hurting. And this administration is being ruled over by a man who clearly doesn't know where he's at. He's 81 years old. This isn't an ageism thing. Everybody has a beginning and everybody has an end. I know one day I'll get old, and hey, I have to go off into the sunset. That's how life works. That's how it's been. We all got to come to terms with that. It's either we die young or, hey, we go out old, but hey, the old has to give away for the new. There's a rising sun and a setting sun. Biden, 81 years old, is in no place to be the leader of the United States. And if he does get elected, he'll be the oldest sitting president in U.S. history. Folks, when you get to that age, eventually, yes, we all do fall apart. Are there senior citizens who are sharper and smarter than Biden? Absolutely. They are the exception. Biden angrily defends memory age in continuous press conference. President Biden, hold on, let me just close this window here. Apologies for that. President Biden fiercely defended his cognitive abilities and memory Thursday in wake of special counsel report that offered a scattering assessment of his recollection of key elements of his life and political career. You mean like how that's been on display for the past 4 years and even onwards, or before then? We've been talking about this. And we've been hit by censorship. My colleagues in independent media have been hit with censorship because, they said something offensive about Biden? Well, here it is, everybody, for everybody that gets triggered. Special counsel report that offered a scathing assessment of his recollection of key elements of his life. Biden squarely pushed back on the report's most eyebrow-raising details, in which special counsel Robert Hur calls Biden a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. Hur used that assessment to determine that it would be unlikely for a jury to convict Biden for his handling of classified documents. Jesus Christ! I can't be calm about this. We got to be rational here. He's 81 years old. Now, at this point, Democrats, if that's your old dog you want for the primary, fine. Fine. Embarrass yourselves. Maybe everyone in the Democratic establishment gets off on it. I don't know. Vote blue no matter who. Seriously, debate me how tough and good Biden is when this assessment is being done. But the thing is, we didn't need this assessment. We already knew it. This is just a way so that Biden doesn't get convicted for anything else. You know, I've been seeing in the live stream chat, a lot of comment sections, and not only Hardlands media, but in independent media as a whole, where everyone's saying, well, you know, there's a good chance that Biden may not make it all the way to the primary and that there might be somebody else. And we'll be talking about that after this story. So look, it's one thing to read an article. This video is going to be very hard for me to watch because, look, I think we've all seen our elderly relatives go through memory loss. It's not an easy thing to watch or to be a caretaker for. But this is the president of the United States. Vote blue no matter who. This your old dog? This is the one who you said we got to vote for? I'm voting independent third party. Not out of spite, but because it's the most rational thing to do with the options presented before me and my audience. I don't have to listen to this. I don't have to follow orders from the Democratic Party. And if the Democratic establishment, Bernie Sanders, AOC, Nancy, they all want to force this old dog on us, fine. You live with it. This is your choice, not mine.
Well, thank you, and I'll take some questions.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's
How
totally
bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak.
I'm not doing this to be mean.
Oof, 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 oof.
I'm not trying to be mean here, folks. But that was just goddamn stupid.
That's
Do you
my,
feel your memory has gotten worse, Mr.
no, look,
President?
my memory is not good. My memory is fine.
I've seen friends, and I've gone through this too, where you're talking to an elderly person and you really are trying to say, hey, do you remember doing this? Do you remember doing that? And I'm just getting flashbacks of it. It's just I know you, my audience, have gone through this too. I see in the live stream comment section or in the comment section below of how you guys have dealt with trials and tribulations and everything else. But come on, here, let's just rewind that again.
That's
Do you
my,
feel your memory has gotten worse, Mr.
no, look,
President?
my memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I become president. None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Mr. President,
Voters have concerns about your age. How are you going to assuage them? And do you fear that this report is only going to fuel further concerns about your age?
Only by some of you.
Mr.
You
President,
cleared up criminal
Mr.
liability
President,
today.
Mr. President.
Do you take responsibility for at least being careless with classified material?
I take responsibility for not having seen exactly what my staff was doing.
I'm sorry.
Oof, 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 oof.
All right. I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm not.
It goes in and points out things that appeared in my garage, things that came out of my home, things that were moved not by me, but my staff.
So he's going to blame his staff. He's going to blame the people working for him. You are the commander in chief. You were also vice president under the Obama administration. You were in charge of a lot of secret documents. You were in charge of a lot of things that are important. The buck stops with you, mister. You're the guy in this. It's like that scene from Seinfeld where George was working for that lazy boss, and eventually George Costanza was yelling at his boss, "Don't you care about your business? Your name's on the building." And the guy was like, "That's Biden. Don't you care, Biden? You're president of the United States." Meh. Meh. It's always the staff. It's always the help.
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, "Watch me." Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment.
No, it's not her judgment. It is an analysis that we all agree with. You're too old. And yet the Democratic Party, that's right, AOC, Bernie, because you two endorsed him, right? That's what you did right off the bat. You two endorsed him. You endorsed him. You endorsed him. There's no getting rid of that ink. You did what you did. This your dog? This your fighter? All because what? We gotta stop Trump. Trump. I don't care if Trump wins the presidency. I really don't care. I just don't care. I 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 just don't care. There's no other deeper analysis than that. All right. So vote blue no matter who. You can write whatever you want. I just don't care. I just don't care if Trump becomes president. Doesn't affect me one bit. I know what I'm doing for election night. I'm cooking a nice ribeye steak.
The public
That is
voting.
not
They
the
express
judgment of the
concerns-
press.
They express concerns about your mental acuity. They say that you are too old. Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have to be you now? What is your
Because
answer to
I'm the
that
most
question?
qualified person in this country to be president of the United States
And yet he's losing in key swing states.
finish the job I started.
Do you believe that? Mr. President, why are you confusing the names of world leaders?
I did not share classified information. I did not share it.
With your ghostwriter.
With my ghostwriter, I did not. Guarantee you did not. What the,
Special counsel said-
well, no, he did not say that. He did not say that.
Mr. President.
Well, let me answer your question. The fact of the matter is, what I didn't want repeated, I didn't want him to know, and I didn't read it to him, was I had written a long memorandum to President Obama why we should not be in Afghanistan. And I was of this multiple pages. And so what I was referring to, I said classified. I should have said should be private because it was a contact between the president.
There's an old man yelling at the clouds. There's an old man saying, "Get off my lawn." I see a couple people in the live stream comment section that are saying that too, as you should. This is very depressing to watch. And the fact that there are a lot of liberals out there that are happy to vote for this man really says a lot about their ability to assess a situation. Because what, you let Donald Trump take a dump in your head? Because Donald Trump's not living rent-free in your head. He just took a sloppy dump, laid it on the floor, and you're just there staring at it. That's all. You let Trump rule you. You let him control you. You let your emotions get the better of you.
And the vice president as to what was going on. That's what he's referring to. It was not classified information in that document. That was not classified.
Now, hold on there, folks. You know, this is the truth, you know, and I'm seeing a couple people comment in the live stream chat, from Bad Cookies to Miss Witchy Perfect, that he was never qualified. He was never qualified in the first place. And now this is going to be for me to really enjoy. Rachel Maddow and BSDNC. They're going to have their little meltdown. They're going to have their meltdown because the old dog doesn't have the bite in him.
In that case.
Well, yeah, especially this line that the president quoted where the report refers to him as a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. What is the word elderly doing there? And poor memory, what is the test of that? Might that be Donald Trump saying, "I don't recall 400 times under oath in the same deposition"? Is that a good test of it? The idea that witnesses over a 40-year discussion.
Don't mind the old man and how he forgets world leaders' names. Don't mind how the old man stutters and stammers and forgets things. Don't mind how the fact that Biden looks confused everywhere he's at. Don't mind the fact that Biden had to regale the people of Lahaina. Oh, how he too went through a dangerous fire that lasted for about 20 minutes. Even though people in Lahaina lost everything, loved ones, memories, their community. Hey, by the way, BSDNC, Rachel, everybody up there, you three brilliant, big brain people. Has Biden visited the people of East Palestine, Ohio? Hello? Did he forget that too?
40-year discussion. Don't remember everything.
Now look, we all do forget things, but the thing is, Biden's been forgetting a lot of things and exhibiting a lot of signs of, well, losing his memory.
Or that someone who graduates from college in June can't tell you where the diploma is in September.
Man, BSD, if there's any reason why we need to help our fellow Americans break away from BSDNC, this is an example. Oh, yeah, hey, I got my college diploma, even though a college diploma is way more different than classified freaking documents. Key word there. Classified. Hey, liberals, I like how you're trying to squirm out of this. Biden isn't senile. He's just right now being more aerodynamic because he felt like not having his pants on. Oh, Biden's just looking confused. You think he looks confused, but he's just observing the scenery. Oh, Biden didn't forget that world leader name. That's just his nickname for that guy.
That seems to be a condition that this special prosecutor doesn't understand in the human mind. So I'm going to be fascinated when I can get into all these hundreds of pages to see what is it that makes you stress the lack of memory in this particular case.
Yeah, he's going to look right into it. Hey, let's have democracy in the chat. You think BSDNC are going to look into this report, wink, and actually give a full detailed analysis? Type 1 for Kit. Every day you get meaner and meaner. You're a racist, sexist, bigoted man. You're probably secretly a Russian. MSNBC is going to do a thorough, foolproof investigation, just like they did with the Hunter Biden laptop story. And they're going to get to the bottom of it, and they're going to be proven correct. You awful, awful man. Type 2 man, they ain't going to do that. They ain't going to do that. Light one up, man. They ain't going to do that. Have another shot of whiskey. They ain't going to do that. I wonder how many twos. Oh, yeah, twos. We're going to get in the chat.
Where you have this completely cooperative witness, and there has never been a witness under oath anywhere being questioned over a period of years of that witness's life where they don't say, I do not recall. It is impossible to ask witnesses questions where they answer will not be, I don't recall.
Man, come on. Come on. Biden might actually be the person like, I don't remember, Jack. I asked you the question, just what'd you do? What'd you eat for breakfast today? I don't remember, Jack.
And if you don't get that response, it just means you didn't ask enough questions.
Can I speak just on that? Because I had the same thought. It's fairly standard lawyering to advise people, even when in doubt or you think you might remember. If you can credibly say, I don't recall about something, that's a standard legal advice. And has nothing to do with the age.
This may not be standard legal advice. This just may be like, seriously, Biden may not remember. Like even his lawyer is kind of looking back like, hey, you don't have to, you're turning up to 11. And Biden probably looks at his lawyer and says, who are you again? Oh my God. Again, maybe in theory that's probably what's happening, but it would be interesting. It would be interesting.
Of the person giving the deposition.
When you're under oath, you can't lie. If you do recall, you have to say that you can, but if you can't.
Exactly. Well,
no one ever lies under oath, right? Right.
That's the whole point, right, Rachel? That basically because of those standards, the extra burden that you don't want to get anything wrong means you err on the side of saying, I don't recall, I don't remember, unless you really specifically do. And if there's a thing that might seem minor and you're not sure and you're being asked about a very specific aspect of it, like, was it in the morning, that meeting, or was it in the afternoon? And you had that meeting that day and you even refreshed your notes.
Man, corporate media. I love deflecting. I like the bobbing and the weed. And what this is like reassurance to the vote blue no matter who. Like the people eating their organic gluten-free food from Whole Foods or Trader Joe's and be like, yeah, that's right. Give me reassurance. Reassurance. Corporate media, please, corporate media, please BSDNC. Tell me things I have to hear because I can't hear about Biden being senile. It's just not true. It's not true. Oh, Biden's running on the White House lawn naked.
I don't recall what time of day. And oh my gosh, you're 25 and you can't tell the morning and night apart.
If you really get high, that could be the case, but you really got to get really stupid high for that. I mean, that's a perfect excuse. Like, hey, man, it's sunny outside. Whoa.
I will tell you this because we're going to get into all of it, but the president came out and spoke tonight because on the one hand, he has very good news. This exhaustive investigation led by a Trump-era holdover prosecutor cleared him of the wrongdoing on classified documents.
No charges.
Cleared him. No charges. End of story. Case closed. Good news. But he has a political piece of bad news woven in there, which is what seems like cheap shot, derogatory attacks on him, which I wouldn't call normal course of investigatory material. No. And so maybe Mr. Hur would be better suited going for a job as White House physician. but he'd have to go and get a medical degree, too, because.
Or maybe he is really on point of Biden can't remember. That's another thing, too, where you want to do your job at BSDNC. Remember how hard-hitting you were covering the Hunter Biden laptop story, and all of you were saying it was classic Russian disinformation, and it turned out to be true. Oh, sucks to be you.
Legally, there's no interest or relevance to his views of the president's overall memory. If it's very specifically to the mental criminal intent or mens rea, and you say you could have this criminal intent and you didn't remember this, you didn't mean to do it, sure. But talking about how, for example, the president remembers or discusses his son's death and Mr. Hur and his team's apparent view that tells you something. As soon as I saw that today, I thought, wow, that's a real partisan kind of tell.
I'm going to acknowledge this from Scott Johnson. Thank you so much for the $10 YouTube super chat. They're all looking at each other, full of admiration at the BS they're all coming up with, learning from each other. Great lie. Why didn't I think of that? And Rachel's like, hey, I'm supposed to be the big dog here. I'm the one that says like all these good things. You guys are stealing my thunder. You awful, awful men. You awful, awful men.
In a report that has a good news legal headline.
And the president just showing absolute rage at that point.
Yes.
No, that's classic old people rage. Okay, I'm sorry, man. I've seen that before. Hey, do you really remember? It's like, yeah, I remember. No, he doesn't. This isn't. I'm trying not to laugh, but this is getting pathetic.
Tonight,
There was one adverb in particular that struck me, which is painfully, which the author of this report, presumably Mr. Herr himself, uses. The president was his memory was painfully bad, or
it was some of the tapes they heard were painfully slow. The discussion was
painfully slow. That's right, painfully slow. And
Yes, that's what happens. Okay, people have seen this.
just thought, well, who's in pain? Like what that adverb is it's doing so much work editorially. You're in pain because it takes too long. Like, it's just very clear, just contained in that adverb is this kind of like siren call that's leaping off the page about him understanding exactly how this is going to resonate.
A little political.
Yes, interesting. Now, look, let's actually pull up this video now here. So my friends at Fox News says, look, folks, there's no denying it.
Remember how hard the media pushed the 25th Amendment?
Yes.
Now here it is. What do you do when it's your guy? Clearly there's evidence of severe memory loss, confusion, mental impairment. What are you waiting for the poor guy to wander down Pennsylvania Avenue in nothing but a shower cap? We thought Harvard had diminished faculties. They aren't just talking, by the way, about your kindly neighbor who forgets where he is and he's wandering on your front lawn in an open robe. We're talking about the leader of the free world, right? You know, they're describing him as an elderly man with a poor memory that doesn't possess a mental state of willfulness. I mean, this is not Gramps with onset dementia. This is the president of the United States. He has the keys to the nuclear football. I can only hope that he doesn't know or remember where it is. But this is like, I mean, it's, to quote Morrissey, the joke isn't funny anymore. It's now really real. They told us something we already knew, and it's something that the media can't spin, right? They basically said he's mentally unfit to stand trial.
Yep. That's the leader of the free world. Mentally unfit. And even pulling this up here too, Biden's age and fitness from NBC topped the list of voters' concern polls. Fine. And hey, look, old man Biden versus old man Trump. Two old men fighting over a cold bowl of soup. And people like Rachel Maddow are saying, oh, we got to vote for Biden because Trump. 3/4 of voters, including half of Democrats, say they have concerns about President Joe Biden's mental and physical health, according to the latest national NBC polls. That compares with 61% of voters who have concerns about former President Trump's multiple felony charges. Look, at this point, what's more dangerous? A guy who has felony charges or a guy who's senile and doesn't know his wazoo from a hole in the ground? I don't know. Look, Trump, he's got his problems. But Biden, being the leader of the free world, the oldest sitting president in U.S. history, that's a huge red flag. I think Biden's health and age kind of get in the way of his ability to be a good president of the United States, said a female Democrat poll respondent from Wisconsin who said she voted for Biden in 2020. She declined to share her name. And look, again, major concerns. At 81 years old, Joe Biden not having the necessary mental and physical health to be president for a second term, 62%. Major concern. Again, we're looking at Trump facing 4 different criminal charges, again, on civil trials. All these are mental wrongdoings, okay, 51%. But look, again, looking at this, Joe Biden's possible awareness or involvement in the business dealings of his son, Hunter Biden, including alleged financial corruption, 44%. So at 77 years old, Donald Trump not having necessary mental and physical health to be president for a second term. Notice it's 34% in comparison to Biden being 81. Now, look, both of them are old men, but Trump being at 77 and Biden being at 81. And clearly, look, Trump is the kind of person who just talks. That's what he does. Does he have his own problems? Yeah. But not anywhere near to what Biden has. Case in point right here. This will be difficult to watch.
Initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in.
Now, why is that important? Well, apparently Biden just referred to Sisi as the president of Mexico. Sisi is the president of Egypt. This one's also difficult to watch. Joe Biden was unable to recall who gifted his son Beau a rosary that he wears every single day since the younger Biden died.
There's some attention paid to some language in the report about my recollection of events. There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died. How in the hell dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, wasn't any of their damn business. Let me tell you something. Some of you have commented, I wear since the day he died, every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of.
I've seen that look. That's the look of someone who forgot or struggles with memory. Democrats, if this is the hill you want to die on, so be it. We're not going to be there with you. You're on your own.
Every Memorial Day, we hold a service remembering him, attended by friends and family and the people who loved him. I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone to remind me when he passed away or passed away.
He repeated himself. I want to pull up this video here again.
That is a naked assessment. I mean, we've seen him refer to dead people as if they're alive. He can't do simple interviews in the Super Bowl. He's declining faster than his poll numbers. And I think at this point, something's going to happen.
I also want to pull up this video here. At the end of the day, I have to agree with Vivek on this one.
Very bad day for President Biden. What do you think?
Look, I think the number one takeaway, Trace, is this. Joe Biden will not be the nominee. I said this last year. People dismissed it as some type of conspiracy theory. Today, I think it became that much more obvious. Play this out. Biden's own DOJ and special counsel is effectively releasing a report that undermines the case for him to actually be a candidate for the U.S. presidency, right as Biden's poll numbers are cratering. We have to do the math, skate to where the puck is going. Not fall for the deflection, but I do think what they're planning for is to sideline Biden as the nominee, trot in a different puppet instead. That's the most significant takeaway from tonight.
Very bad day for President.
So what can we take away from this? What can we take away from this? Tell me, how's Heartland's media been wrong or incorrect about everything that we have been witnessing firsthand? How have we been wrong or incorrect about calling out Biden and his mental decline? How have we been incorrect when we said that this administration has the potential of doing good things, but it won't, and it'll keep on running the system as is? So the thing is, we've been proven correct. Hardlands media and all of independent media have been proven correct in our criticism and analysis of Joe Biden. Now the whole world sees it. So I'll have democracy in the chat. And this is something that maybe all of you can weigh in on. And I'm going to be very serious about this. In your personal opinion, is Biden mentally fit to be president of the United States for a second term? Type 3 for yes, type 4 for no. I want to see your thoughts, your comments. You have a right to share your opinion. But there's no denying that something is wrong.